Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Business School and the Black Financial Channel, and I wanted to break down some some quick news going on in the financial markets today. One thing that's really interesting that I just read is that the White House is actually getting involved with a direct confrontation with Facebook. It appears that the White House has actually set up a tool to allow people to report what they perceive to be biases online by Facebook and other companies as they ban people that they consider to be dangerous. And you know how, if you know me, you know that I'm a big fan of Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I found it very offensive that they banned him for being dangerous. When actually he's never advocated for violence against anybody. Because if he'd advocated for violence, there would have been violence. He has people that would probably commit violence on his behalf if he were to ask them to do that. And so anyway, it looks like, based on CNN Money, the White House launched a tool to report instances of perceived bias. This is coming from the Trump administration, and they're fighting for free speech online. No matter your views, if you suspect political bias has caused you to be censored or silenced online, we want to hear about it. Now, again, I without being a liberal or a conservative, I can say that I don't see a lot of I don't see a lot of banning and censorship coming from the right. It seems like the right is advocating and fighting for free speech, whereas it's the left that's kind of sort of gotten into this whole "we don't think you have the right to speak" mindset, which I think is very dangerous politically for the United States, for this country. More about the article says, after users enter their personal information, the form then asks them to describe the alleged bias that occurred, which platform it occurred on, and if they've taken any screenshots of messages they received from the company that took action. Toward the end of the form, the form also requests permission to add the user to an email newsletter it could use to provide updates without relying on platforms like Facebook and Twitter. So it almost sounds like the White House is also trying to set up systems that allow people to communicate around Facebook and around Twitter, stuff like that. I have to admit I'm a fan of that, and in fact, we actually created a platform called Blag Enough, which if you're black enough, get it, Black Enough, Blag Enough, blagenough.com. Which was actually our social media. Sorry about the mess, the scribble down at the bottom. I was making other notes. But Blag Enough was our answer to that. We had a big issue with things being banned, people being banned for no reason, and I was being banned. A lot of people were being banned, and we didn't know what to do. Facebook wasn't being responsive, and if you go back to a previous video I've done in the past, you'll see where I did a deep analysis on Facebook, a really deep dive, and it turns out Facebook has a lot of enemies for antitrust violations, censorship of lots of groups, not just black people, bad business practices, irresponsible use of public data, and I believe that a lot of it comes back to the psyche of Facebook's original founder, Mark Zuckerberg. I think Zuckerberg is not quite the guy that you want having that much power. Going back to when he sent the text to his friend years ago where he said, I can't believe that people trust me with their data. He used air quotes to say trust. And he said, fucking idiots, or something like that. Like basically saying all his users were stupid for relying on him or sharing their data with him. So I think it is a good move to kind of go outside of Facebook. I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican initiative. It's not beneficial for the country. And they say in the article that Trump and top Republicans have for years accused companies such as Facebook, Google, and Twitter of being biased against conservatives, but those attacks have ramped up in recent months as the social media companies have taken action to reduce toxic content on their platforms. To support their claims, Trump and top Republicans have cherry-picked examples. Many of those examples have been misleading. I don't know what, let's see here. A Twitter spokesperson, however, said Woods, they're talking about, right-wing actor James Woods. A Twitter spokesperson says that Woods was never actually banned. In fact, the spokesperson said Woods was only suspended after he tweeted the hashtag hang them all. Well, that is kind of bad. You shouldn't be hanging people. Trump himself has accused technology companies of bias against him. In April, he tweeted that Twitter is very discriminatory and does not treat me well as a Republican. Later that day, during an Oval Office meeting with Twitter executive Jack Dorsey, Trump even raised the issue of the size of his Twitter following. Claims of social media censorship have also made their way to Congress. Lawmakers have held various hearings over the past year on the so-called practice of social media filtering. At the hearings, Republicans such as Steve King of Iowa have cited articles from the far-right media outlets such as Gateway Pundit to accuse social media companies of bias against conservatives. At one hearing last year, the pro-Trump diamond and silk duo, who repeatedly spread misinformation on Facebook, was even invited to testify. Now, what's the problem with this is that, and this really reflects kind of what's going on with our media. So much of our media is biased because, I agree. I'm not a big fan of diamond and silk. I think that it's coonery, but, I see so many liberals spreading so much misinformation. It's ridiculous. For example, here's an example. I remember seeing the liberals. I got it. I had at some point I angered an angry horde of feminists at some point who just relentlessly tried to social media bully me and all this other, which doesn't work. I mean, I'm a grown man. Bully, digital bullying. Come on. Anyway, and one stat that they kept repeating was that a black man has a lower likelihood of being falsely accused of rape than being struck by lightning, right? That your odds of being falsely accused of rape are smaller than the odds of being struck by lightning. So I did research on this, and it didn't seem right because I've seen black men who've been falsely accused. It happens all the time, it's all over the media, and it's all happened all throughout history. Well, it turns out that was, fake news. That was false information. That was a rumor and a lie somebody spread out there, and university professors have been trying to get people to stop stating this publicly. But what got it going, what pushed it out there was Joe Biden, actually. Joe Biden, who himself has been, is caught up in a weird Me Too situation or two. But Joe Biden actually recited the statistic without looking at the original source. So, I'm reading this article, and it's from CNN, which I know doesn't have a good relationship with the White House. And I don't really like media where they're telling us what to think. I would prefer that you just give me facts and let me come to my own conclusion. Stop sort of filtering the information before you get it to me, because that's going to just piss me off once I realize. For example, the case of Albert Wilson, the brother who was accused of raping the white woman that he never had sex with. He was alone with her for 5 minutes. She was all over him, and she says that because she'd been drinking that he raped her, but he never actually penetrated her, and he only kissed her, which a kiss is not rape, and there's no evidence that he kissed her against her will. But anyway, look it up. It's free Albert Wilson. That's the hashtag. Look it up. Anyway, in the Albert Wilson case, I noticed in the media, I was reading the articles, and I want you to go look at the articles and see if you agree with me. In the articles, they kept saying he raped her. Like after the conviction was over, they talked about the rape as if it was a fact, but they never said, here's the evidence to show that he raped her. They found a bloody this, or a witness saw that. There's nothing like that. It's just, she said he raped her. There's no evidence that they actually had, vaginal sex. And he's going to prison for 12 years. And the media is just going along with that. So I think that the media bias is all over the place. I think that we live in a dangerous world where there aren't that many places, safe havens for truth anymore. And I think that that's kind of unfortunate for this country. It's very, very sad. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Do me a favor. Feel free to sign up at blackenough.com. That's our social media platform where our goal is to seek black truth and also safety, where you don't have to worry about being banned because you spoke your mind. We believe in freedom like that. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share button, and subscribe button. And also, if you happen to live in Philadelphia, just know that I'll be in Philadelphia May 19th. And I'm doing an all-day investing seminars. It's all day long, so it has a slightly higher price point than most events that I do, but it'll be well worth it. You'll just be very happy when you're done. So feel free to go to drboycephiladelphia.com. That's drboycephiladelphia.com. And last but not least, I've got a book coming out May 19th, Black American Money 3. And this is the first copy, and I'm really excited about that. So feel free to check out all of my books at drboycebooks.com. That's drboycebooks.com. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.